We are back. Gonna give one last Nightmare a go because I feel like Nona, the mech character, is cheap as hell. Like, I blitzed through Nightmare. So I'm gonna prove to myself that I've got what it takes. And I'm gonna play as Chin Yan. Alright? He's very melee focused, he uses armor, doesn't have any shields. It's gonna be kind of crazy. We'll see. I'm not bad with this guy. You need specific bits of the build to make it work, but it's fine. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, I know I'm being a chicken, not going into reincarnation. I have a damn good reason in my defense. I've got no spirit shards. And one of the big things in the new sort of ascended mode, sword, holy crap. Yeah, so one of the things about the new mode is you actually spend those blue swirly points up the top right on guns, on bits for your build, you know, new abilities, stuff like that. So I'm just waiting to build up a bit of capital and then I'll head in. So we got 700 damage versus 550. One is fire, one is shock. I mean, this is a quicker sword. I think for this guy, I need just big hits. Yeah, everything this guy's got is melee. So he's literally like, here you go. Ready? Woo! That's his E. And then this is his Q, like a little jab. And as you can see, above his health bar is yellow, and that's because it's armor, which means it actually does reduce some damage. It just doesn't regenerate on its own without me using my ability. So let's see how we go. I'll probably die, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. There we go. So yeah, it's kind of crazy where I know I keep talking about it and bitch, go looking for my apology because you ain't going to get one. Baldur's Gate is only a few days off releasing now. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a game. I'll be really honest. It's it just looks so great. And I've mentioned before, but I, for the longest time, played D&D and hopefully will be again very soon. And I'm just going to make all the characters I've ever played in this game because it does it perfectly. And like I said, it improves on so many aspects of D&D because there are issues. There are. I'm intrigued to see what they do with multi-classing, you know? Because in D&D 5e, for those who don't know, multi-classing, it's great because obviously you get other aspects of classes, but what it does is like the max level is 20. That's just max. And that could be 20 levels of Paladin, or it could be 10 levels of Paladin, 10 levels of Warlock, or it could be 8 levels of Ranger and 12 levels of Druid, you know? It's for variety in builds, and that's really good. It's for variety in builds and things like that. But the problem is, obviously, it's great. You got a lot of variety, you've got a lot of answers to things that are happening. What you do not have is the power of the other classes. Level 12 is a big deal. It's a very big deal because you tend to find by that point martial classes are gaining their third attack. Spellcasters are getting ridiculously strong spells. I believe the Resurrect spell comes at level 12. As well as being able to cast like fireballs like they're nothing and really strong spells. You can put up to higher levels like Magic Missile and things like that. You know, you can really get strong. So yeah, I'm hoping that Baldur's Gate brings in something to make it a bit more worth it. Because the variety is great, of course it is. And just for fun, it's brilliant. I don't play for fun, I play to win. So we'll see, we'll see. I would love to give it a go. And like I said, I've literally... Whoa, that was a bit spicy. I've literally got 4 playthroughs planned already. And there'll be more. And I'll definitely stream one. I will definitely stream one. That just sounds fun. So we'll see. I mean, I haven't been more excited than this for a game in a long, long time. So it's going to be great. I just heard as well, funnily enough, after my rantings... Oh, I might take a shotgun here. I'm going to take a porcupine because it's actually long range. Like, it's a long range shotgun. But yeah, after all that patter and chatter about The Witcher yesterday, I've just seen that it's on hold. I assume because of the writer's strike. But it'll give him a damn good chance to see the stats for this series. You know? I'm just going to use Leap all the time for health. Yeah, it's going to give him a chance to see how this series went. I have to admit, I haven't watched the whole thing. So, maybe I need to. But I heard... This is spoiler territory now, so careful. I heard how they actually... Not get rid of Geralt, but how they ended this series. And... Essentially, it is just Geralt walking off into a forest with Ciri and that, like, business as usual. And yeah, like, how are you meant to handle this sort of thing? This isn't fucking Doctor Who. He isn't going to go, ta-da! And start fucking turning into, Matt Smith. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to just fucking violently turn into Matt Smith. I sure fucking don't. Anyway. No hate, no hate. Morbius. I'm definitely taking that. What the hell? Sorry, I've never actually picked this up. After using a weapon skill. Holy shit. Things like that. Yeah. Every 6 shot, that's kind of lame. 50% damage dealt while in the air. Well, I'm jumping a lot. After swapping weapons... The swapping weapons replenish the magazine instantly and gain 30%. I mean, wow. What a boost. So yes, he essentially gets up, walks off with Ciri into the forest, and it just kind of leaves it there. And I have to say, I kind of respect it. Like, what were they meant to do? Seriously. I know they could go down the multiverse route, but this ain't fucking Marvel Sunshine. I've had enough. Oh, we are teetering on a Marvel rant because my god. But yeah, anyway, we're not going to go time traveling. We're not going to go multiversely, and I know that is a part of The Witcher, so I know. But after the Baba Yaga incident of 2021, yeah, I'm a little more nervous with that sort of thing. I think it's the best way they could have done it. And I will give... What's he called? Is it Liam Hemsworth? I think that's his name. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth's brother. It's going to give him a chance to shine, and I'm going to give it a go. Look, I've got a fucking man crush on Henry Cavill, okay? So you do not need to sell to me that Henry Cavill's great. I thought he was a brilliant Witcher. I thought he looked perfect. I forgot my weapon could do this. He looked perfect. He acted perfect. Minus the weird... Oh my god. The weird happy family that him and Yen created. But yeah, he did a great job. I think Liam Hemsworth could do a good job. Now, I obviously haven't seen the real images. I've seen that one going around that everyone's seen, which is him AI'd onto Geralt. And if they do the makeup right, and if they really put in some effort here, he could look great. And what they need to do, I think they nailed Geralt when he's fighting and when he's angry. When he's using potions, when he's fighting monsters, I mean, they fucking nailed it. Where they struggle, in my opinion, is their interactions between him and Ciri and Yennefer. I think that is by far the weakest part. Because they got so many things right in that show. And hilariously, and I know this is a shared opinion, so I'm not exactly blowing minds here. But the best moment in the series, was in the very first episode of the very first series. And it is when he had his Butcher of Blaviken moment. I mean, seriously, they absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So yeah. If they can get Liam doing bits like that again, if we can get Ciri coming into her powers a little bit, we can get a bit more development, maybe get a deeper relationship with finding out more about Yennefer and Geralt and the fact that they're not some happy family and why that is. Just a bit of exploration. I'd love. They've got such a rich tapestry of things to pull from. And it feels like they're scared to use it because they have to make it something different. And that's a big thing in any sort of translation of a book to film or a game to film or anything really, is that they're afraid to mimic what's come before. And you've got to appreciate that, because what you don't want is just loads of clones of things coming out and trying to do the last one better. Like, you need to take some artistic license. Where I start to struggle is when it's not artistic license, they just start to stray from the books entirely. If you want the most prime example in the world of that, look no further than Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. One of the worst things I've ever watched. Sorry. Absolute cack. I would go so far as to say it was an insult, not only to the Tolkien estate, it was an insult to all of the fans of Lord of the Rings, of which they are insufferable, I'll admit. But no, it was an insult for me. What the fuck were they thinking? And some people liked it, and to those people I say power to you, because you're clearly enjoying life more than me. You know, I will never knock someone for enjoying something because you are objectively having a better time with the content than I am. I envy you. I'm going to take that for the damage on the on the sword probably, but yeah. Immunity to burning is nice, and with this sword, I'm actually going to take it. I'm going to take it for this, the extra tankiness, the extra survivability, and the extra damage on this sword. And I plan on sticking with it. We can go a fire build. I mean, that's pretty great damage there. And so far, we're doing okay. But yes, I'm not going to go too deep into Lord of the Rings series, because like the Gollum game that came out, it got slated by enough people. I think the damage is done. But do not let them forget. Do not let them forget. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Fast Loader. Vindictive Nature. 40%. Yep. Good. Yeah. So yeah. It's, I am waiting for the day we get a genuinely good fantasy series on TV. I will say, the Game of Thrones was great. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Yes, it fucking sucked at the end. But it's like that made people forget all of the other great stuff we got with that series. Like, there were some genuine... Now, I will say I'm not that versed on the Game of Thrones books, and that probably has given me a layer of protection against the shit in the show. You know? Like, I don't have the extra good bits in the books to compare it to, so I'm not getting too upset when it happens. You know? Saying that, I just thought some of it was absolutely brilliant. You know, the relationship between Jaime and Brienne of Tarth, who's the best character in the fucking thing. The Hound before the end was amazing. The way they set up all the characters. And I'm sorry, but they did Joffrey great, because I hated the little fucker. And that's what it should be. You should hate him. He's like the worst character apart from Ramsay, who was a bit OTT, I'll admit. But there was just some great stuff. And even all of... wow, embarrassing that I can't even remember her name. Daenerys. And all of her stuff. Her build-up was excellent. It was the payoff that was shit. The payoff was she flew on a dragon towards a town, blew it up, and then went, oh no, I have the sad. And conveniently crushed several main characters underneath buildings at the same time. Oh, I'll never forgive that scene. Those two huddled together getting crushed by a rock. Oh, man. That lingers in my nightmares, I tell you. And the fight that the Hound has and just the way it all ends, and oh, the way Bran becomes the King of the North. Some of it was cool, like the Golden Throne burning, or the Golden Throne, sorry, the Iron Throne burning. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, you'd end the cycle. That's a great pickup there. Of course, you'd end the cycle. You know, end the sort of feudal system, if you like, which makes sense. You know, after everything it's done, it's in the title. It's a Game of Thrones. Ba-ba-bam. 2. So, you know, those parts made sense. Pick on the right bits, guys. Pick on the right bits. Anyway, I know I'm talking about old-ass news here. I thought House of the Dragon was good, too. You know? It was definitely... It was as good as the mediocre parts of Game of Thrones. How's that? And that's like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Okay? And a 7 or 8 out of 10, people forget, is very, very good. And I feel like people also forget that a 5 out of 10 is just perfectly average. You know, you give something a 5 out of 10 and people lose their minds. Joker mode. 5 out of 10 is just average. It's just fine. And a 6 out of 10, that's good. That's above average. It's an above average bit of content I've just watched. I don't understand why people get upset. Stuff like IGN, Rotten Tomatoes and that have ruined it, because if a film's good, it's 9 out of 10, it's 10 out of 10, it's 8.5. And it's like, yeah, it was good. Like, did enjoy. And yet, if they give something a 6, or even, you know, I got a running joke, which is the 7 out of 10. I'm pretty sure I got it from Red Letter Media. What a 7 out of 10 performance. You know, it's almost worse to get a 7 than it is a 5. Because people think it's just bland. Am I insane to think a 7 is really good? Like a 7, I'm checking out. That's so good, the recover armor. A 7's really good. Like, I would go out of my way to watch a 7. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm out of touch. Who knows? I'm not down with the kids. I just think, yeah, I would give House of the Dragon a 7 out of 10. I would give Rings of Power a 3 out of 10. Not completely terrible, but bad. This is going to be a bit of a rough fight. Maybe. Just gonna... I haven't quite got the speed I would like, but I have got some damage. And this is where the porcupine comes in handy. That's some cracking damage there. Cracking cheese. Some cracking damage. Here we go. I'm focusing while I'm on the buttons. There's only so much shit one man can talk. But I will admit my upper threshold is fucking high. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I think I've said before, my job was, I was a nurse, mental health nurse. So my job was to chat as much shit as is humanly possible. And hopefully the person likes you. That's your job role. Sprinkle in some paperwork and safety referrals. And doing handover twice a shift, and you've got a job. You know? There's the kill. Nice job. Nice and easy. I'm definitely starting to think I'm beyond Nightmare. I'll be honest. Getting some good stuff. Interesting. It's another special weapon. That's what's making it difficult. The beauty of this one is it's large ammo. So I'm actually going to keep this. Definitely 40% damage, I think. Yeah. That's just straight 40%. I'm going to take that. I will very often, I'll admit, take power-ups that don't require much thought. They just kind of like, guess what? 40% bonus. It's in a game where you have like 50 different scrolls going on at once. I'm not keeping track of everyone, brother. What do you think I am? Mensa's the other way. People who are smart enough to track that shit are not streaming on a Monday in work hours. Okay? Like, please. Oh. Oh, if I didn't take the fire upgrade, that would be got. We're doing some great damage. Great, great, great damage. Hit. And hit, and hit. Sorry, I won't do the sound effects the whole time. The desert, for me, is the hardest place. That was cool. It just has a lot of annoying enemies that move very quick, and most things on this area fire projectiles. Maybe that's normally the case, maybe I'm just misremembering, but, you know, in the Japanese area after this, yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them are melee. Could be wrong. Or if not, there's like, they're very squishy, they tend to not have like an armor layer or something like that. But those bandit retainers, they're in my room frickin' 101. If anyone remembers that. They are in my... it was room 101, wasn't it? The one where they, like, put in their fears or stuff they hate. She remembered that was alright. I will say that I've never been... Like, my partner knows this very well. I've just never got into, like, TV. And I know that's such a mean thing to say. So, you know, I've just spent the past fucking 15 minutes talking about TV, but I've spent the past 15 minutes talking about streaming services, for one. Or things that are on streaming services. TV, I would consider Big Brother, Homes Under the Hammer, Mrs. Brown's Boys, which is class, I don't care what anyone says. Daytime TV, you know? Daytime TV, for me, is a good way of rotting your brain. And I'm saying that while I'm playing video games. Video games keep your brain active. Fuck you. I don't care. At least in video games, I'm active. I'm mentally active. Definitely not physically. You're physically, mentally active, mentally stimulated. Keeps you young. I don't care what anyone says. Whereas watching TV, which some people think is a better use of your time, I might add. I've had this discussion in work. I think it's fine. And yet for me, TV is spending 3 or 4 hours sat on your fucking Todd doing niche. At least here I'm talking, I'm playing the game, I'm shooting barrels. I don't have much time to think about anything else. I feel like I'd fucking wither and rot if I was sat watching TV. And even if I'm watching a series, unless I'm ill or under the influence of something, I cannot sit and watch TV. Funnily enough, the only thing at the moment that I could sit and watch, and this is kind of wild, is BattleBots, motherfuckers. Have you seen that shit? BattleBots is great. It's so... For anyone who doesn't know, or is also from the UK, aka the better place, it's Robot Wars. It's literally Robot Wars. That's just a damage burst, by the way, what I picked up. It's Robot Wars, but they can get a bit more... It feels a bit more official. It feels like a tournament. They've done it very much... One of the people commentating it is Kenny Florian. If anyone knows MMA, he is quite a well-known MMA fighter. And he just does the commentary for it, which is really weird. And with Chris Rose, who I'm pretty sure does like commentary for things like NFL and stuff like that. So they do it very officially. And it's the typical American drama, you know, you get a fucking zoom in every 5 seconds. You get that one sound effect, you know, that's in every American TV show where it goes like... in the background. And whenever anything happens, it zooms in someone looking shocked. And the next scene is a woman going, "Now, I just didn't know he could do that. I wouldn't have put that on Ricky Bobby." It's kind of that. But I'm sorry to any American who watches this. I do love and respect you. In hell! But yeah, it's a great show. And they make it so damn dramatic. Like, you've got this old-ass man piloting a robot, and the commentary's like, he's the #1 killer in the USA. Weighing in at 200 pounds, his robot is something to be feared. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, it's a tin can with a fucking tin opener on the end. Like, my man made that in the garage. You can't sit here talking about him like he's a threat, you know? I reckon that should be a challenge they do on anything where you have to make, like, a robot or train a fighter up or something like that. You should be able to beat what you're making. You're right? Like, or same as if you're a personal trainer. You should be able to beat whatever records you're trying to make them set. Or not, well, alright, yes, I see the logic in that. Maybe not beat. Maybe, ooh, cleave. Maybe not beat, but maybe match wherever they were at, so you can prove you're at a level where you can train them or use them. I think the same logic should apply to Robot Wars and BattleBots. You should be able to beat your robot in a fight. I think that would lead to much more tame robots, I think. People would just stick a fucking fork on the end. Because I think there's one called Tombstone, which is basically a triangle wedge with a spinning blade on the end, which spins at like 120 miles an hour. And I'll be willing to admit, it would be a struggle. It would be a struggle to beat them. But, I don't know, dude. You made the robot, my brother in Christ. But look at me. Wow, my robot shoots flames. Well, that's not going to be any good against other robots, so why did you even do that? That's one of my pet peeves with that show. People keep sticking flamethrowers on because, I will admit, flamethrowers look badass. But what's a flamethrower going to do against, like, a steel frame? Maybe not steel, but, you know, even like aluminium. An aluminium frame, a flame isn't going to do much against that. I know their logic behind it is it toasts the circuitry inside. Do you have any idea how rare it is that that works? Because you'd have to be close enough that the flame could, like, get them, you know? But you'd have to have it controlled enough that your robot doesn't get melted in the meantime. So it always ends up that unless your robot is an actual tank, there's no flamethrower that's going to get another robot. You might get lucky and they might add, like, felt to the outside of their design, like Ribot. See, I even know the names. But it's literally there for show. You know, like, the worst you're going to do is burn off... Holy shit. There we go. It burn off the outside. And, not do much damage to the robot. The thing I tend to find does the most damage is themselves. You know, you can't teach a robot technique. You can't teach a robot MMA techniques where they can protect their fist when they punch and they know how to block. Like, a robot's just mashing itself against the other one. So they get completely fucked every match, and most of the time it's from their own machine. So yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show, and my partner is also obsessed with it. And she does, she's an artist. She does, like, sort of dot work at the moment, stick and poke style tattoos. She's that sort of thing. It's great. It is absolutely great. And she's actually drawn some of the battle bots. So if anyone knows it, she's drawn Duck and she's drawn Witch Doctor. Ooh. I'm going to take a minute to curse scrolls just in case. And yeah, they're great. And she loves it, so... Yeah, in terms of TV, that's about all I watch. I would struggle to watch any more than that. And if anyone... This is a stretch, but if anyone watching this has ever worked in mental health, you'll know that in adult mental health, on a ward especially, the TV is always on. It's never off. And it's always something completely shit. You know? On a cams unit, it's different because everyone's watching kick-ass films. Like, maybe it's because I'm 26, I'm saying this. But, you know, they're all watching kick-ass films. You know, we're getting some Pixar in there. They watch Titanic a lot for some reason. I really would have thought that brings you down, but power to you. And really funny films like Anchorman and stuff like that. You go into an adult ward, and A, they're all smoking enough to kill a man in one fucking day. But B, they're all watching like Jeremy Kyle, old Big Brother reruns, which I didn't even think ran. Crazy. Or what's that American guy called? Dr. I was about to say Dr. fucking Seuss then. Dr. Phil, that's the one. And I'm just like, man, just feel like I could be doing you a service by switching this over to something decent. You know, let me chuck on some of the boys for you. See how you feel about that. Let me chuck on... Oh, what's like a perfect series? The obvious answer is Breaking Bad. But cheaple. Breaking Bad is still, I would argue, the best drama ever written, but... I know, I'm biased, and I'm a shill, and I'm a sheep, and I don't care. There's some stuff that's gotten very close. And, you know, I think I know one that matches it. At the very least matches it. At times, not overall, but at times, this show completely exceeds it. And that is Fargo. Honestly, if you have not watched Fargo, do yourself a favor. Because that show is excellent. It's got 3 series, I believe. It may have a 4th now. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 series. The first one mainly focuses on Martin Freeman. I know. But he's great in it. And it's all based in Canada. And it's all like... It's all, I guess, kind of not gang-related. But it's like shady people. It's mobs, it's gangs, it's not serial killers, assassins, that sort of thing. A lot of owing money, a lot of stuff like that. It's got little bits of Ozark in it. Definitely got bits of Breaking Bad in it. But I have to say, yeah, at times, that show blew me away. And the second series in particular, where it's all about 2 mob families fighting, just some of the best TV I've ever watched. Seriously. And don't count sitting and watching TV because it's on a streaming service, so nah. Woo! But yeah. I think I've got sword ammo back. Yep. We're getting a little dicey on the health here. I've really got to be careful. Because I'm not... I was about to say I don't want to die for a stupid reason. Fuck it. I was going to save him and I was like, do you know what? Do it for the bit. Worst comes to worst, I will go off stream, gather up the points, and then next time we will do a reincarnation run. Because that will be my first proper one where I can actually purchase some of the bonuses. So I think those bonuses are necessary. But anyway, so yes, Fargo is absolutely recommended. Amongst the sea of shit you could be watching, it is a shining beacon. As is, and come on, people have been memeing on it. I think it's one of the best series of it. And it's the new Black Mirror. Actually was good enough that it made me go back and watch Dead Set, if anyone remembers that, which was Charlie Brooker's Big Brother zombie series. Short series, but it was great. Davina McCall as a zombie, just mwah. But yeah, it's a lot, not less techie, but it kind of is. It's a bit less in-your-face techie. I'm just going to keep uploading bits of these at a time, upgrading bits of these at a time. It's a bit less techie, yes. In a way, I think it needed it because it feels more relatable now. Even the one where they were in space felt relatable. And it helps. Sorry. Could call it easy watching, sure, whatever, but I thought it was great. Joan is Awful was a great episode. Loch Henry was my favorite one of the lot, and it had no fucking tech in it. It was just a cool story. Yeah, I loved it. I just think he's a great writer, so I'll just enjoy the writing. If I wanted it to have the same themes every single series, I would just keep watching the same series, because I've got it. I've got the perfect version of it. I don't need more. I want him to keep exploring different stuff. So no, I think it's great. I've just gone back on myself, haven't I? Ooh. Okay. Let's keep going. But yeah, so I am looking forward to some more things coming out for Film of Time. And like I say, in the meantime, I'm still on WoW a fair bit. And I've got a level 65. This is my first time actually properly playing WoW, which I know is kind of crazy how old the game is. But I don't know. I played ESO for a while. I played Guild Wars 2 definitely for the longest. I think because WoW had been around for so long, it put me off. Because, I don't know, everyone had kind of experienced the game already, you know? I wasn't going into, you know, if I ever joined a dungeon finder, I'd never be in a group where like, oh my god, this is my first time doing the dungeon. Like, everyone's just on doing their fucking dailies, you know? Just... okay, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. But yeah, just kind of working their way through and power leveling and... I don't know. It just kind of put me off. But with Dragonflight, and everyone's still experiencing the new content, it just feels fresh. And I think they've nailed the leveling. They definitely condense level 60 to 70, or maybe the other way, expand. It takes fucking ages. But it's fun. It's fun. If I had to complain, it would be to say that there are way too many quests that just make you sit on a mount and follow people. You know, it's just, don't make me move at 2 miles an hour and then force me through a zone where I have to sit on something for about sometimes 10 minutes, which is crazy. I'm just going to get some points here. Let's just get more copper, eh? I'll just do a run next time. I will do a proper reincarnation run next time. But yeah, I can stream some WoW. It's just, it's very much the Luke show, let's put it that way. I'd be chatting away. Because, not the most engaging watching unless I'm in a dungeon. Maybe I'll stream some dungeons. Anyway, I'm going to potter off there for now. Make some tea, haha. This will obviously go up on YouTube. But cheers for watching, guys. And yeah, see you again soon. I'm going to keep pumping out videos. Tito by L.